Anchor nymphs, such as my yarn bomb, are a common component to my Euro nymph pattern assortment. Used in either the point or dropper position, the yarn bomb does an excellent job anchoring a team of flies in a variety of water conditions and types. Here are the materials you will need to tie your own yarn bomb. So let's tie the yarn bomb, a simple fly and one of my favorite Euro nymphing patterns. Into the jaws of the vise, I've got a Daiichi 1120 number 8. I tie these in 8s, 10s, and 12s most often. I've got a Canadian Lama 1/8 gold tungsten. You could tie these with black, silver, hot colors. I sometimes on the number 8s, when I really want to get this fly down, I'll put a 5/32 on it. I often put a under wrap of flat lead wire. I get this from Fly Tying Specialties. They do some great stuff, and this is the medium. You can also get it in the fine. What I like to do first to help this process along is just put a little coating of brushable super glue on there. This helps hold the wire. I'm just going to come up, get a couple of wraps, and then that'll stay in place. And I'm just going to wrap this forward. I'll just put a single layer in, but depending on your local waters and your needs, you could put a double wrap of wire in there too. And we're just going to, like our ribbing, we're just going to break that off. Come in with our thumbnail, save our scissor blades, and just get that in place. We've got our foundation in place. I tie the majority of my yarn bombs in tan or olive to match caddis larvae. So you want to choose a thread color that matches. This is going to be an olive one, so I've got some 80 olive thread. We're just going to get that started and secure it over the body I've made. Go down to the shank of the hook. And I want to build up a little bit of a thread taper right at the back here, so there's a nice smooth transition from the shank to the weighted underbody. Starting to look not bad. Just rotate that so I can see a little better. And then we're going to tie in our ribbing, which is just going to be some small gold UTC wire. Again, the ribbing colorations are up to you. You could tie it gold, silver, chartreuse. You could add some hot colors in there as well, more of an attractor style. I tend to tie these a little more in the natural coloration, but again, the choice is up to you and what works best for your local waters. Alright, so I'm going to place that ribbing right up along the side of the shank and then secure it down. That's out of the way. For the body, pretty simple. Sparkle yarn. Some of the UV2 sparkle yarn in olive, or you can use the tan. Now, depending on the size of the fly, you may have to strip this few strands out to thin it down a little bit. But for this big number 8, I think we'll be fine. It's a great anchor nymph for this fly. Whether you put it on the point, or maybe off the dropper to hold your flies down when fish may be a little less active and all hugging near the bottom. Having a big heavy fly like this yarn bomb on in that dropper position will keep both your flies working down where those fish are when they're kind of out of sorts. So now all we're going to do is wind this forward to form a yarn body, hence the fly's name, the yarn bomb. Nice and flat. All the way up. Tie her off. Trim away the excess. And then we'll come forward with our ribbing. A little segmentation. So now we're going to darken this fly. We could have created a woven body check style, but I'm going to do this a little easier because these flies, you tend to lose a lot of them as they tumble along the bottom at times. So we're going to use some UV fly finish, clear fly finish in thick formula to help the process of darkening the back. So I'm just going to squeeze out. I'm just going to dispense a little along the back. This thick formula is not going to run all over the place. I want to keep it concentrated to the top half of the fly. I'm just going to smooth that out. Right down. Let that sort of settle out. Come flat, and then we're just going to come in with our light and cure it. So to darken the fly, we're just going to use a permanent marker. You could use a black one, a brown one. This is an olive fly, so we'll stick with that theme. This is a dark olive green Prismacolor marker. And we're just going to come in on top. Just color that fly. Just darken that back slightly. Just darken that up a little bit on top. Let that sit for a few seconds. And then we're just going to give it a little top coat with some flow. And I just got a little dab on there. I can take my dubbing needle, just disperse that down the back of the fly. I'm happy with it. Just activate it with the UV light. It's kind of a subtle effect. See that sitting on top like that. It's kind of a darker, lighter belly effect going on here. So now we just need to finish the fly. You could probably fish it like this and it would be fine, but we're going to use some Arizona synthetic peacock, a touch dub this on to make a scruffy little thorax that suggests the thorax of a caddis larva, its legs, and just add some bugginess to the fly. So we're going to take some Loon high-tack swax, and I'm just going to touch the wax. I don't want to be all syrupy with it, but I'm just going to touch that onto the tying thread about an inch and a quarter or so, and then I'm going to take this fine fibered Arizona synthetic peacock and just touch it to the thread all the way along. It's not going to look like much. You don't want to overdo it. And all we're going to do now is just wind that basically behind the bead. We'll apply a little bit of brushable super glue to our tying thread and finish the fly directly behind the bead. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 or 4 turn whip finish should be fine. Just come in, pluck out any errant fibers, and you want it scruffy. If there are some that are bothering you, a few long ones, you can come in and trim it up, but this fly is going to be tumbling on or near the bottom. And this has just been a great fly for me, particularly in this olive coloration and again in tan. Simple, easy to tie. You don't mind losing these. You don't mind putting them in harm's way. Add a few yarn bombs, heavily weighted anchor fly to your Euro nymphing section of your fly box because it's a great little fly. I highly recommend it. For more information on fly fishing, and stillwater fly fishing in particular, please visit my website at flycraftangling.com. Here you will find fishing tips, fly patterns, articles, information regarding my seminars and schools, along with links to my blog and mine and Brian Chan's online stillwater fly fishing shop.
You can also visit our store directly at stillwaterflyfishingstore.com. In addition, you can also follow me through my social media channels, including Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thanks for watching, and please take the time to watch my other tying videos as well.